Hey Bearcasters, welcome to another edition of Bearcat Blitz. I'm William Wolkoff. We start with football, but not the Bearcats. On Thursday, November 29th, Rutgers hosted Louisville in Piscataway, New Jersey to determine who gets the BCS Bowl nod in the Big East. In the end, the Cardinals came back after trailing 14-3 at halftime, winning by a final score of 20-17. So, how does this game affect the Bearcats? Cincinnati can't obtain an outright title of the Big East Conference, but with Louisville's victory, they could still get a share of the title. If your Bearcats defeat UConn on Saturday, they would force a four-way tie in the Big East Conference standings for first place between Cincinnati, Rutgers, Louisville, and Syracuse. Of course, with losses to both Rutgers and Louisville, it'll be nearly impossible for the Bearcats to earn a BCS Bowl. However, if the Bearcats lose, they do not get a slice of the Big East title. Regardless of their record, the Bearcats are bowl eligible. As of Friday, November 30th, the Bearcats are projected to go to the Belk Bowl against the ACC's 4th or 5th ranked team. That would most likely be either Duke or Georgia Tech. Cincinnati's final regular season game kicks off Saturday at 3:30 p.m. on ABC. Now, this simple win-loss scenario for the Bearcats is not nearly as difficult to understand as the recent conference realignment in the Big East. Schools seem to be coming in and out of the Big East Conference like a revolving door. This past week, Cincinnati's chief rival Louisville announced that they would be heading to the ACC in 2014. They would join Syracuse and Pitt, who are both moving on July 1st, 2013. And just before that, Rutgers announced its move to the Big Ten. So, which schools will be in the Big East Conference in 2014? As of now, your Bearcats will be there, with a lot of unfamiliar schools that aren't necessarily East. Check it out. In 2014, full-time members will be Cincinnati, South Florida, Connecticut, Temple, Houston, Central Florida, Southern Methodist, Memphis, and Tulane. Football-only members include Boise State, East Carolina, and San Diego State, and the non-football members will be Providence, St. John's, Seton Hall, Villanova, Georgetown, DePaul, and Marquette. However, it is clear that anything could change, and your Bearcats could be on the move next. Meanwhile, there's nothing confusing about Cincinnati's basketball season so far. The Bearcats are off to a 6-0 start and are champions of the Global Sports Classic after defeating Iowa State and Oregon in Las Vegas last weekend. Their leadership stems from the guard play of Sean Kilpatrick, who's averaging 21 points per game and shooting 51% from the field. And the guard play of Kashmir Wright has also been significant because he's been averaging 16.5 points, 3 assists, and 3 steals per game while shooting 48% from three-point range. Defensively, center Czech Mudge and forward Justin Jackson have been very productive. Mudge is averaging 3 blocks per game while Jackson is averaging 1.5. Now, all of this is purely awesome, but the X factor of this roster comes off the bench, and that guy is Titus Rubles. He's been clutch for the Bearcats so far this season, averaging 8 points per game. And against Oregon, Rubles put up 13 points and also helped end an 11-0 scoring run by the Ducks during that matchup. So yes, the Bearcats have been impressive indeed. But things only get tougher from here. The Bearcats will host Alabama on Saturday at Fifth Third Arena at 3 o'clock p.m. The Crimson Tide are also 6-0, with their most notable victory coming over Villanova 77-55. Alabama is led by their guards just like the Bearcats. Junior Trevor Relaford is averaging 18.6 points per game while shooting an amazing 55% from three-point range. And sophomore Rodney Cooper is averaging 16 points and 2 steals per game for the Crimson Tide. Cincinnati's guards will certainly have their hands full with Alabama. Now, after Saturday's game, the Bearcats will have a few warm-up games in Arkansas Little Rock and Maryland Eastern Shore before they face Marshall, crosstown rival Xavier, Wright State, and number 25, New Mexico. The Bearcats' schedule during this month is certainly tougher than many Decembers in the past. Alabama, Xavier, and New Mexico are all top 3 teams in their respective conference. By month's end, we will certainly have a better picture of how the Bearcats play against stiffer competition. For all of us here at Bearcast, I'm William Wolkoff. Join us next time for another edition of Bearcat Blitz.